What's going on, everybody? What's going on, strangers? And welcome to the Snapback. I was going to say Snapchat. I'm back is what I meant to say. And Alex, I'm joined by you, or should I say you're joined by me, I guess, this time around, man. It's been far too long, and my gosh, man, I'm so excited for this episode. So excited to be back, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, but I want to hear about your trip. I want to hear about the event. You have so much you have to catch us up on, man. So we better dive in. We're going to be here for 6 hours. We even tried off screen to not talk too much about it so we could save it for the pod, because Cozy and I, we always chat beforehand because it's a nice chance for us to catch up. But Cozy's like, no, we got to talk about it on the pod.
Yeah, we were talking and I was like, wait, we're just talking about all the stuff we would even talk about while we were filming. Yeah, this has been by far the busiest era of my life, and it's not even close. So for starters, for those that don't know, I think it was on a Snapchat, but then I also think it somehow maybe got deleted. I don't even know. I'm having my second child in less than a month. So Miss Cozy is as pregnant as you can get, and I've been working double dad duty when I'm not doing the rest of the chaos. So I thought a fun way, one of our subjects today is we're going to do kind of Cozy catch-up on where I've been the last few weeks. We went from never missing an episode to 3 in a row. Great job, Cozy. Fantastic. But then also, we're going to do a very fun game of Cozy catch-up with the cars that have come to the game. Because I've been gone, this has been the longest I've been away from Snap since Alpha. And so it is going to be crazy to know what has come into this game. I'm going to kind of guess how good these cars have been that I've missed, and everything in between. And then Alex and I have the Fallen one to talk about today, and of course the Snapchat mailbag. But yeah, man, so it's been good. It's been a little bit of a chaotic, really, since I want to say 2 weeks into July. Really, even June was busy because I was doing some casting stuff kind of live for them there. But then we had Comic-Con, which I'm very, I know you know what Comic-Con is, but it is the biggest thing that we have here in San Diego. And essentially, I was picked there to, we're going to go to this beautiful screen. I was picked to host an event at Comic-Con, which was super cool, super fun, really exciting. And long story short, got to be with a lot of the voice actors of Rivals and help host with Extra Emily and Emiru, both extremely nice people. Do you know them at all?
I'm not too familiar with them, no. I mean, I've been watching your casting events, and I've been keeping track of the esports scene, and so I'm starting to learn more about them by kind of osmosis through you to some degree. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't watch their content. I just know of them. She's the biggest. Emma is the biggest streamer on Twitch, female wise, and Extra Emily I think is top 5. I want to say, but both very sweet individuals. They did a cosplay contest. The cosplay there was awesome, insane. Hosting was really fun. It's crazy. I'm getting ahead of myself, but whenever I went to China, I had this streamer there who typically streams in front of 20, 30, 40,000 people. But then he was on stage and he was like, man, why am I so nervous on stage compared to on stream, right? And it's so crazy that there's so many viewers all the time for these streamers, but as soon as you get to a live environment, Alex, it's just such a totally different game.
It's so funny. Once you're out of your element, everything's out the window. I actually talked about this on the prior podcast. I was talking about how because Husky had done the casting for the Golden Gauntlet, and I was saying when I was doing the Deadpool's Diner, I was, do you remember how nervous I was? Behind the scenes, man.
Yeah.
Remember, you're Alex, you're not being yourself. What's up? And I'm I'm just so nervous. I don't know why. And you were cool as a cucumber. You'd walked this road so many times before, and you actually had legitimately calmed me down, helped me get, not through it, but help me kind of get back into the flow of what I'm known to be, right? And it was so bizarre. Once you're out of your element just a little bit, it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is, right? It's once you have less control, especially over content making, it gets just harder to do. So whether that's on somebody else's stream, if you're guest starring or whatever, or in person, and there's faces to views, right? That's when it gets kind of crazy. So luckily I've had I had some nice, I want to say almost, I've done Conquerors and some other things, but I had some nice, baby steps before I got on the stage in China. And before I continue, I want to say huge shout out to everyone that filled the spots. Super Tech God, Dexter, love you, and Husky for joining in. Dara for joining in and helping out while I was away. Guys, seen the comments. I love that y'all love the Snapchat, and we love that you love the Snapchat. I love the Snapchat. If it was something that I could physically have done, I would have done it. And I'm just happy to be back and talking here with my best buddy over here. And it just felt wrong. It felt like I was watching my ex-girlfriend do something. It made me sad.
Well, yeah, you're definitely missed, dude. And yeah, we had some great people fill in, but at the same time, like there's something special about the Snapchat, Cozy Snap, Alex Kocha, and I think there's like a magic here that is like, it's one of those things where it's like it's hard to define. It's like intangible. And so I really just have been having tons of fun, like kind of learning about like, different kind of like different ranks and how they approach playing the game and stuff like that, like with Husky and how high ranked he is. It was just really interesting to kind of be with like different personalities, but at the same time, like there's something special about the Snapchat, and I'm glad that we're back at it. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, for sure. And it also just getting like different perspectives is really interesting. Obviously, we've been talking now 3 years, so we have like the same. And regardless, no matter what, it's no secret. Obviously, my time is split with Rifles and Snap, and so someone that only plays Snap is gonna be able to offer. Like, I'm sure people that are just pure Snap heads were in it because that's just something like straight up I can't offer as only a Snap player, right? But it has been cool playing. Snap is like a mobile game too now, which is interesting. I have to say, it's I've met thousands of people over the last couple of weeks, and how many people either played Snap and got into Rivals, and then they knew me from that, or they knew me from just Snap, or even best of all, just like long-term listeners of the Snapchat. I mean, I called you. There's a great gentleman named Scott Porter. He voices Star-Lord in Marvel Rivals. But he's also the mayor, the lead actor in Ginny and Georgia, a really big show. I think he was one of the main actors in Friday Night Lights. One of the most genuine humans I've ever met. Really good guy. Millions of followers. Massive listener and fan of the Snapchat. Like, it's just so funny. You never know, bro, who's listening. It's just
no
crazy.
way, man. My wife and I watched Ginny and Georgia. That is mind-blowing. This is an absolute bomb. I'm so glad you saved this for... Dude, this is wild. That's crazy. Like, this is... We're talking about like actual Hollywood, someone who I know and watch and respect. Like, this is crazy.
Bro, I don't know the show. I know my wife watched it a lot, and like it was just one of those, like, me and my wife try to watch the same shows, but every now and then she'll start one, and then if I wasn't there, it's like it's too late, right? It's already too far gone. But like he hit me up on Instagram not long ago. Scott, if you're listening, what's up, Bubba? But and he was like, hey, keep doing what you're doing, been a listener to the Snapchat. And I was like, do you know who this is? To my wife. And she's like, yeah, this is this guy. And it was like, she happened to be watching the show right then and there. So anyway, I was watching this show called Quarterback on Netflix, and it was talking about Joe Burrow, and he was playing the piano, and he was mentioning how like people never know what these celebrities per se are doing in their off time, right? And you just never know what they're watching, who they're watching, what they're doing. So it was really cool to just see from, just kids we've met that watch us all the way to Hollywood actors. Just so insane. And every single time, it has nothing to do with Snap. They love the banter, they love the Alex and Cozy chemistry, and that's what I love too, bud. So it's so much to unpack here. But Comic-Con really fun. The Magic team over at Wizards of the Coast invited me over to go to this Magic panel with because they got the Spider-Man set coming out. So dude, that's gonna be sick. Can't wait for that. That's in about a month coming out. Some of the toughest hosting I've ever done, Alex. So all these gentlemen are great. They only speak Mandarin though, Chinese, and so dude, trying to host a Q&A panel with a translator is impossibly hard. Very weird and hard to do.
Yeah, I can only imagine how difficult that would be.
But it was fun. A lot of fun. Comic-Con was great. And so Comic-Con, 2 days after Comic-Con, ignore Blade here, even though this is sick. 2 days after Comic-Con, I was on my flight to China to go host Marvel Rivals mid-season finals for their esports tournament Ignite, and just a crazy amount of things to break down, my guy. First of all, have you been to China?
What kind of question is that, man? I have never been off of like the mainland of North America before. Going to San Diego was by far the furthest I had been. Like I'm not well traveled now.
Have you had Chinese food?
That might surprise some.
Have you had Chinese food?
Yeah, we've had Chinese food, but like I don't think I've had like genuine, real Chinese food. You know what I mean? Like real Chinese food.
Name a Chinese food.
Chicken balls.
Chicken ball. Well, we're already 0 for what? What's chicken balls? I don't think that's a thing. They don't have chicken.
What?
Chicken balls. It's just chicken balls on the menu.
It's a ball of chicken, and they bread it, and you dip it in like a red sweet and sour sauce. That is 100% Chinese food. Dude, no, you're crazy now. Like you're looking at me like I'm psycho. Like you're crazy.
Express,
chicken
bro?
balls is the most like Chinese food,
like,
Chinese thing on the planet.
Talking like orange chicken.
No, like orange chicken's like that breaded thing. I like that too. But
That's
no,
what you just
100%
described.
chicken balls with like the red sweet and sour sauce. Have you ever had the red sweet and sour sauce?
So like when you land at the airport, it's like, China landed the chicken balls. Like that's like an iconic thing there they got going on. Not lo mein.
I don't think they advertise it like that. No.
Have you had lo mein?
I don't think so. Lo mein, is that like the bean sprouts?
Yeah.
I don't like the bean sprouts. I gotta be honest with you.
I'm
You
so
know what I
hot to
really
do
like?
that.
They have like orange chicken. They have orange beef, which is nice. I like when like places nearby that do Chinese food, they do like shaved beef, and they put like it's like black bean spicy beef, and it's unreal. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be back talking to you. I need my daily dose of Alex, and it's the classic. I have a fever, and the only prescription is just more Alex in my life. It's that simple. Listen, okay. The last time we talked, remember I did my first class trip ever to Miami. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. I do remember this.
That was the equivalent of going to like the local fair and saying like, I think I've been to Disney World. Going on a first class trip to China, bro. There's a full bed, bro. I laid down horizontal on an airplane.
You actually laid down and slept on a bed?
A full, dude, 15-hour flight. 1-5.
Well, your Twitter says 20 hours of flight.
Well, that's okay. The first flight was 15. I went to San Francisco, then I went to Hong Kong, then I went to Guangzhou. That's 20 hours. The long one was 15. Alex called me on snoops.com over here. Yeah, 3 connections, bro. Which landing in a Chinese airport with no English is like a stressful experience. And like, I decided to start China on hard mode, right? I get there, fantastic flight, watch the Mario movie. I love it. I get there, get in the airport. Guess whose luggage did not make it to China?
Oh, no, you got to be kidding me. Seriously?
All of it. Gone. All of it. I have no luggage, bro. And I go to the luggage, the lost luggage counter. They don't speak. No English. It's not like, oh, here, talk to this person. No, it's like none. Good luck. Have a good day. GG. Luckily, the rivals team tracked it down. Took a couple days, but I was wearing some infamous local favorites. So, dude, it's too long to go into all of it, but I'll tell you this, man. China is one of the best places I've ever been in my life. I don't think I knew anything of what to expect about China. I honestly, like, do you know anything about China?
I couldn't even tell you anything. I have no idea what it would look like.
Yep.
I have no idea what people wear. Like, to me, it is a complete black box. Like, I couldn't even begin to explain what China would be like.
Bro, that's how I was, man. Like, I had no idea what to expect. And it is, first of all, bro, it is like, it's cyberpunk, man. Like, every building's lit up. Everything has like, everything's lights. That's how I could explain it best. Super clean, though. Crazy hospitable. The people were extremely just friendly from start to finish. Man, I love it. I'm a big fan of China now. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I would go back in a heartbeat. I would go to China before I would go to Miami now. Dead serious. But yeah, went to a mall. It's cool. It's great stuff. We had like a couple days to kind of like acclimate there a little bit, and did some of the tour stuff. But then we had the event. So, bro, this was one of the, like, we didn't know a lot about this before going in. So when they walked us to this stage so this is the casting booth here, but this is the main stage. Show me
that pose again. Go back. You gotta show me the pose again.
That's a salute, bro. They're pink.
Only you could wear that too. Look how just stud muffin you are.
Pink is good luck there, bro. Look at this stage, bro. How insane is this stage, man? I don't think I'm never nervous about anything. I can't remember the last time I was nervous, but when I saw the stage, I was like, oh damn, like, hold on. That's a different feel. Also, obviously, being in a country that's not my own and hosting something to that degree. But dude, it was the single best experience in my content creator life. I can say that full stop, no question about it. Just unreal, bro. Unreal being able to do something like that. You know, when I was a kid, I took all these tests of what do you want to be when you grow up, and I just kept getting Anchorman. And to be able to kind of like be a pseudo Anchorman, man, it was cool.
Yeah, no, man, like honestly, and I was watching. It was very difficult with like the different time zones and everything to figure out like when you guys were live. And I kept like they kept going live multiple times on Twitch, and it was like the reruns and stuff like that. So it was hard to like catch you live. But what I was watching was phenomenally well produced. You're actually the whole casting team, like obviously you crushed it, but the whole casting team was tremendously talented, and the production quality was through the roof. The actual games were really good too. And I don't know, man, the whole thing was so unbelievably well put together. Like I'm not just throwing out praise here, like legit, like Rivals and their team, like they did a fantastic job. And you hosting and the co-hosts and of course the casters, like the whole thing was an incredible production. I can only hope and wish that maybe one day in Snap we could have something like that. Like I feel like it was one of those things that like had we leaned into earlier on, I think it would have paid dividends forward for the game. But I guess they never felt like it was worth it. And watching how well Marvel Rivals Ignite was like produced and the excitement it provided to the community, like everyone that I know was talking about it, right? Not just because obviously I'm adjacent to you, but like it's all I was hearing about, and I was watching it here and there. And dude, I don't know, it just it put a smile on my face and also a tear in my eye because you know what could have been.
Bro, first of all, well, I guess breaking that into pieces, me and Alex was like right before I left, I'm like, all right, bro, here we go. We'll just film when I'm in China. Just a stark 15-hour difference. In fact, it is a perfect difference of filming of middle of the night for both of us, no matter what. And so not only that too, things are banned there. So there's not Discord, there's not YouTube. So trying to go through VPN is a whole nother beast, which is why I guess it was a couple extra weeks of me not being on the Snapchat there. But yeah, it felt like that, man. Head to toe. It was funny. I was talking to FanFan here, who did like do you remember FanFan did this huge thing for Marvel Snap? Do you remember this?
Yeah. FanFan had streamed for Snap. I think they were part of the Conquerors we casted, weren't they? We casted. Disguised Toast was there. FanFan was there. Lyric and his brother were there.
You're
right?
totally right.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her about that. I was like, yeah, you were in some. You're in this tournament that I was in. Well, and I think we met her, bro. The first time we met her, by the way, love her. Incredible individual. Got to know her really well. But we met her when I was a 3 sheets under the win at TwitchCon. But we ran into them at TwitchCon. Do you remember this?
I do remember. It was outside, right?
Yeah, dude.
I do remember.
We had a couple in us. Yeah, because I think it was after the club you went to with the shorts on. Yeah,
well, that's another story. I promise this TwitchCon I'm going to dress more appropriately. Okay, I'm going to pack pants. I'm going to have shirts. I'm going to be ready.
I'm ready for you. Yeah, TwitchCon's going to be a hoot this year. But yeah, they had really good cosplay. This not a great photo, but cool cosplay. This Venom guy was sweating bullets, man. I could feel it the whole time. But yeah, I was there for about 2 weeks, man. This is my Infinity Stone outfit. And then, bro, so then I get back, man. I just get back. I get back Tuesday. So what is today? I don't even know. What is today? I don't know. What's today?
You put me on the spot here. It's a Monday, August 18th, sir.
No, so I got back Wednesday or Wednesday of last week. I got back Wednesday of last week, and I then went to go host a bro, I was on China TV, by the way. Did you see this?
Really?
Have you not seen this?
I didn't see this. No, I haven't logged into Twitter in so long. Whoa! You look like an NFL coach doing an interview after a win.
Dude, so hosting this event was the craziest thing I've ever done because there's literally thousands of people I'm going up to, doing interviews, doing different things. And I get grabbed by these one people and like, hey, can you come do this interview? And I was like, yeah, why not? You know, it's my 20th one a day. And I go there, and right as I'm going on, this lady tells me, by the way, this is China's national TV. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, it's like NBC in America. And I'm like, okay. And they do like 6 cameras, and they didn't tell me which one to look at, first of all. So I'm just like trying to take a guess. And then they just said one question. They were like, what do you think of China? You got this guy breaking down, I don't even know what. I guess I hit him with the right answer. I didn't know. They said, what do you think of China? And I gave you essentially what I just gave as my outreach. But dude, I was on China TV. Can cross that off my bucket list. And then finally, they asked me to come host a Fantastic Four and Marvel Rivals event at the El Capitan, which is like a very famous theater here in Hollywood. And that's where I got to meet a lot more of the voice act. Bro, it has been a wild couple weeks, and then it all ends with today. I'm headed back up to LA to go to the music of the MCU, where it's like it's all the composers and some of the actors. Bro, I don't this is crazy. I don't even know what my life has become, but it's fun. But I miss you.
Your life has become the dream, my man. It's honestly, it's so phenomenal. I'm glad that you've been able to kind of like get these experiences, because first of all, you've earned them. And secondly, this is what like fuels the fire of content creation, the sleepless nights and the work that we put in, the countless hours prior to success. I've always said the only place you find success before work is in the dictionary. You've put the work in and now you're finding the success. And I honestly love to see it. Like, I absolutely do. And dude, I don't know. Couldn't be more proud of you.
Oh, bro. Well, hey, man. Blessed beyond compare. Honored beyond reason. And also, yeah, man, it's just, it's very surreal in some ways. In other ways, it's like, with my other child about to be born, it's just so tough, man. Like trying to, we talk about this all the time, like just not having enough time for anything, right? So like me, not Cozy, but me as a human have had zero time for that person at all. Because, been gone, I'm gone for 2 weeks. Yeah, I love the Snapchat, but the first people I'm giving my time to is obviously my family, trying to make that up. Haven't posted on any of my channels now for far too long. Luckily, had a couple like 3 weeks ago on my Rivals channel. But like, it's just been pure chaos in the best way possible. And I'm just so blessed to be where I'm at now. And so now I'm just playing catch-up mode before number 2 comes here.
Yeah, I know, man. And life is constantly going to be throwing curveballs at you, right? And this career that we have in content creation is amongst the least flexible, right? Cards come out on Tuesdays. There's like a schedule that you almost have to adhere to, right? And I think one of the most challenging things that a lot of people may not appreciate is the challenge of kind of managing the expectations of the people who watch you, right? Like, you don't want to let anyone down. You want to do your best, make the best content you can, be there when they hope you're there. And I feel that stress. I don't want to take a day off. I don't want to take a week off. I don't want to miss a video. And I can only imagine the stress you were feeling in knowing that, that you were absent during those times where, people were hoping that you were there. And in a lot of ways, that comes from a place of love, right? Like, people love to see Cozy snap, right? But at the same time, it's hard because you want to do your absolute best for your audience. And I know you are, and I know I am. And I just hope that they see that.
Well, dude, thank you. Thanks for saying that. I think as a friend to people too, that's just who I try to be. I hate being that person who's absent and gone, right? And that's why, like, people who I have friendships with, I really make sure that they hear from me and, we talk, often. And I tried that so hard with this channel for so long that I never, because it sucked. Like, I don't like not being here, right? And it's like, I have to pick and choose my battles at the end of the day. And I've just accepted, like, I will let people down. I have to. I have no other choice, and I have to be okay with that. And the people that want to hate me for not being here, whatever, like, you are entitled to your own opinion, and like, totally, just don't click on the video. No hard, no foul. Unsubscribe from me, whatever you want to do, because I just can't appease those people. But everyone else that's been listening for a long time and enjoy us and understand what's going on. It's very parasocial and hard to understand life of us, because to the viewers and listeners, we're just a voice and entertainment, right? So when we stop providing that, we stop giving them any sense of value for ourselves. So it's just it's such a hard thing to feed that, but also make sure that you're feeding yourself in any regard. So, and then of course it doesn't hurt that, the way I provide my family has made a lot more sense on the rival side. But yeah, man, totally. Listen, outside of new season launching and doing some really easy reaction content on Rivals, haven't done something in 3 weeks there, and this was the first content I'm doing, because this is the first content I wanted to do. Wanted to catch up with you, wanted to say what's up to everybody that's listening, and just pumped, man. I am excited, genuinely, right, because I've been so involved with Snap for so long. I've known every card coming out. I've known about every card coming out. I'm so pumped to know nothing about what we're talking about. Like, I quite literally didn't even have time to log into social media outside of a couple posts here and there. So I know nothing about August's season. We didn't break it down ahead of time. So I'm amped for what today's going to be, man. Do you want to break down what we're doing today, Alex?
Yeah, so basically we're going to be catching Cozy up. He has legit not seen or played the cards that have come out. He's not in touch with the meta. This is as out of touch you can have a Cozy Snap B, and we are going to take full advantage of it right now. So Cozy, you might get a little embarrassed here and there, but we're going to be going after what you think these cards are doing to the meta right now. Cozy's going to try to predict how the cards are performing, how they've been doing, and I'm going to be the bearer of good and or bad news, depending on his assumptions. Cozy, why don't we get started with Galactus Fantastic Four First Steps?
Dude, I don't know anything about these, and so I feel like I'm going to whiff because for the first time you do know, and I'm now in the hot seat a bit. But yeah, okay. So let's see here, man. So this is a 6/12. Okay, Galactus is a 6/12. First Steps, Galactus. My Herald is the next character I see you play. End of turn. +2 power if you're winning my Herald's location, if in hand or in play. My only question with this is, does he have to be? He doesn't have to be in your hand for you to have a Herald.
He does. So this is amongst the most confusing text ever.
Yeah.
Written on a Marvel Snap card. So basically, the way it works, he's a 6/12. When he's drawn into your hand, or if he's in play somehow, but usually he draws into your hand. The next character you play, an animation happens, and it becomes the Herald of Galactus. And if you're winning that location, Galactus in your hand gets +2, and your opponent does see it. It's kind of like the Red Hulk type thing, where it kind of pops out and shows you. That's how it works. So if Galactus is in your hand or on the field of play, the next character that you play, no matter what it is, becomes its Herald.
Okay, so I think I like this. I don't love it, but I think I like it because my thought is if you have this in your hand, obviously drawing it is probably very important, clearly. And if you don't draw it like it's a 6/12 at the end of the day, I guess, you know, have like Magneto level power, whatever. But if you have it in your hand early and then you're able just to play, like I feel like this can go in a fair amount of decks, right? Because it can go in like your typical, like you can even go like discard with it and do like, you know, I don't know, whatever, stuff like that. But on top of that, I feel like you can also just play this in good, like something like Iron Patriot, and this is going back to old cards, but like Iron Patriot, Captain America, those cards that we began the year with, like those are just good cards to get out. And you can even starting there, right? You're able to just play cards that can adapt around things, and then you have a really big 6-drop to end it at. But they can see it build up, so they have. So I don't like the cube rate on this, but I do feel like as a card, it's not terrible. I'm gonna give it a 4-star as a card.
You know what? You're probably approximately correct. The way the card is played out is that on first launch, it kind of unimpressed. Even in the decks that I had designed, I was often like holding a massive Galactus and almost baiting my opponent by not playing it and doing something else instead. If you're thinking about like what a lot of turn 6s are in Marvel Snap right now, they're often not big chunks being dropped on 6. You have like the Mercury Cannonball Fenris combinations. Like there's a lot of power in turn 6 plays, and it doesn't always come from one giant stat stick. Now, there are going to be situations where like a 6/18 Galactus is going to be preferred, right? But there are also times where it doesn't call for that. The card is running a relatively modest positive cube rate. On aggregate right now, ranks 70 to 100 pool 3, according to Untapped with the latest OTA. It's running a 53% win rate, which is like not great for a season pass card. We do have a couple decks that are hovering around like the 56, 57, 58 range, but those are playing like the Cannonball Mercury combinations with Fenris, and you also have like the Quicksilver Wiccan. Quicksilver Wiccan looks like it's the best way to play it as of right now, because you're able to sneak him out on turn 5 essentially and have a turn 6 where you can do some of those magic plays that you're trying to pull off on turn 6. So yeah, he's kind of aging well, to be honest with you, but he's not crushing the meta by any stroke of the imagination.
I think it's kind of cool to have a Galactus, someone as iconic as Galactus, that you can have somewhat flexible. Like, you know, like the Galactus of old, you only had a couple decks, right? So I think at least that's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like, how do you think this thing's going to age in time?
I'm not sure. I like the play style of it. It almost feels like a mini Sanctorum Showdown, right? Sanctum Showdown, I should say. And so I kind of like the design. And you were also right to identify Iron Patriot as a good play with it, because a lot of the cards that follow up with Iron Patriot effectively are cards that you wouldn't mind being played as Heralds of Galactus, right? If Iron Patriot is your Herald of Galactus, you naturally want to win that location the next turn anyways. So you're playing stuff like even Negasonic, right? Who can trade a location effectively, right? Which also feeds into the Fenris. So yeah, like the actual play pattern I think is cool. I think the design of the card is fascinating. I actually like the card. I think it was a suggestion. I'm not sure who had made it. I'd read somewhere or heard it. Essentially, it would be cool, a minor change where if the actual card who's the Herald gained +1 power every time it won a location to help seal the locations and maybe change the stats on the actual G-Man itself, could be an interesting take. But overall, I don't think the card's bad. I don't think it's mid. I think it's probably does not have the ceiling. Well, definitely not of Mr. Fantastic, but it doesn't have that crazy ceiling. But it seems like a fair season pass card with a at least fun, intuitive way to play the game.
Has Mr. Fantastic been nerfed yet?
Obviously, yes. You don't know this?
Did he? No, I don't. I did. Okay, no. Like one of the last times we talked, it was like a couple weeks after he released. And do you remember I said, somewhere around August, maybe late August, I guarantee you this card's going to get nerfed. Please tell me, did they take away power or what did they do?
You actually don't know, though?
I swear to God.
Okay, this is actually crazy.
No, you
I'm
like,
not going to say they butchered the
nerf
card, but it's a 3 cost now.
They went cost.
He's a 3 cost
So
now.
you went from 2 to 3? Oh my God. Didn't we call this?
That's a huge nerf, yeah. I vaguely remember you calling it. And I also, talking about last season, I also correctly called that Invisible Woman was going to ruin the meta. So
was she correct?
We both got something. Yeah, she's pissing everyone off.
Does she work well with this card, I'm guessing, yeah?
No.
No? Oh, bummer. Dude,
she's allowing these end of turn decks to go absolutely insane.
Dude, we said that I'm telling you, we reviewed Reed and I'm like, dude, there's no draw for this downside for this card. This can be one of the best cards in the game. And I was like, they're going to nerf this card and Merlin, which I guess, have they done Merlin?
No, Merlin's still
he's
intact.
He's still
Merlin's play rate actually has gone down pretty significantly, which I disagree with. Merlin is so good, guys. It's a great card. What are we doing out there? Why aren't we playing Merlin? It's a whole other conversation.
Dude, I can't believe Mr. Fantastic got hit. What else got hit in that OTA or whatever?
Oh man, they put me on the spot here.
How long ago was this?
This was like 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Oh, it was
like
this week? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thursday this week. They hit Havoc. They took a power off. They gave Havoc a power, but took it from +4 every turn to +3, because instead of nerfing Invisible Woman, who's doing all these double procs, specifically with Prodigy, so it's like quad procs, they nerfed the Havoc. Yeah, they're trying. Oh, they completely reworked Ghost. Ghost is no longer an ongoing. It's an on reveal that removes end of turn effects for cards in that location. It's like a tech card for end of turn. Yeah, it's a brand new tech card, Ghost, which is kind of wild. Yeah, everything's different.
Dude, yeah, that's what's crazy about this game though, because I've never experienced this, right? Like, you know, like you never see your kids growing up because you're with them every day, right? So like, you know, if grandpa comes like, oh, you guys gotten so big, you're like, oh, I guess so, right? Like with Snap, you just when you're in it every day, you don't feel like there's, you know, it's change, but not too much. And then but if you take a break and you come back into it, it's like, that's when you feel like, oh shit, a lot has changed, right? In general. But all right, dude. So what's the next card? What's our next one?
The next card would probably be the Silver Surfer First Steps. That is the super premium season pass card. Or conversely, we can talk about what's the name? Stardust, which was the Series 5 card. Either one.
Silver Surfer Fantastic Four First Steps rolls right off the tongue. End of turn, if you're winning this location with an on reveal card, copy its text. Wait. So it's essentially Prodigy, but you have to win at the end of the turn.
Imagine Prodigy and Absorbing Man mashed together, yeah.
And it's a 3/4. Oh, wait. I don't know if I love this. Hold on. If you're winning this location with an on reveal card, copy its text. And it only happens once per
once it gains the text, it's the card, yeah.
And it only happens once.
You can't like repeatedly.
Yeah. It only happens one time.
Yeah, this doesn't interact with the Invisible Woman or anything.
And it's a 3/4. So it's it is. It is a Zorban with Prodigy. I mean, my only guess would be Surfer. Sure, but does it need it? I guess Surfer, but does it need it? And then you could also play Surfer with like bigger things, or you could play. I mean, like, because you have like Doom, you can repeat. I don't know. I don't really like this card that much. Is that this? It doesn't seem that good to me.
Yeah, it's not seeing that much play right now.
That's
it
a
could
bummer.
take some cooking, but I do think you're also seeing a lot of still repeated community backlash against the Super Premium Season Pass, and that's what
Oh,
this is.
is this the Super?
Yeah,
Ah,
that's the Super
stupid.
Premium Season Pass, so a lot of people are not buying it, which is fair. I absolutely vote with your wallet, man. Like 100%, I agree. So it's not seeing that much experimentation right now. I've had some, even myself, like I talked about it, in prior weeks where I'm like, I just don't want to play it. Like it kind of feels a little dirty still, you know what I mean? I have had some success playing it with stuff like, the Iron Patriot, because it double procs that effect, which is really cool. Then like you're able to kind of take advantage of that, especially with initiative granting decks, which we tend to be playing right now. But yeah, it has not necessarily been a meta shaker, but this type of card could potentially find its niche somewhere. Ironically, we talk about Prodigy and Absorbing Man. Like Prodigy saw almost no play until Invisible Woman First Steps came out, and then all of a sudden you have an absolutely insanely broken deck where Prodigy actually legitimately doubles its effectiveness, right? And so this essentially doubles the effectiveness of a non-reveal card in a bit of a different way that a Wong would, but still kind of fascinating. So maybe it'll age better. I don't think it's going to age like fine wine, but it'll at least age.
It's funny that we said that about Prodigy, that we said we were on it, but there's always new cards coming out, and because of his text, it could infinitely always scale, right? Like, because there's always something that could double up and go crazy. We have to do another React one where we go back and listen to some of our takes, because I think I'm sure we were wrong about a lot, but it's still fun to go back. Yeah, I don't have the Fantastic card because I skipped out on that season pass, and I won't have this. Not a fan of the new model. I think it's still stupid. Breaking news, but okay, yeah, that sums it up. That was a little bit easier to digest than Galactus, or at least break down. What's our next card?
Next card, let's do Stardust. Stardust is going to be the card that released into the Series 5 packs first, alongside the Super Premium. Looks cool, eh? So I have a question for you. Is Stardust, who is a she, is she wearing pants?
I don't know what I'm looking at here. What is this? Behind the pole there? It's a she?
The pants are
I see
very
a
well
bulge.
hidden by the trident.
I see a bulge.
This has been a question that's been stumping people.
And the bottom of the 6-pack of the she, and then there's something going on down there. There's something.
I mean, there's always something going on.
No, there's more lineage that aren't pants. There's a lot going on.
It is a carapace.
I also don't like this pose. This leg is straightened out, and this one is kneeled. So like, I don't like the pose either. I don't like.
No, the card art is not great. I'll admit. No offense to the artist.
It looked cool until I looked at it. Now I don't like it. Now it's like one of those 3D books that I'm looking at here.
Oh, like when you stare at them with your face really close to the page and you're supposed to see an image afterwards?
Yeah, but I'm just staring at their abs now, and I don't know what I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing parts. 4/7, ongoing cards can't be added to locations except by playing them or moving them. So like Doom, 2099, Doctor Doom, any of that stuff, you can't.
Brood. Yep.
Ah, that's a tech card I don't think we knew we needed, potentially. I actually think, I mean, obviously this is about, like, because it's tough to evaluate this card right now because I don't know the meta, but what I would say is so many of those cards have been doing pretty good that I feel like, is this like Triple M in the sense of like, does it solve a problem we don't necessarily have? You know what I mean? Like, do you play it enough to throw it in there? 4/7's not a bad stat line, and this does protect you from some pretty good cards. I have a hard time saying if this is needed. I don't think I would end up playing this anywhere near like a Red Guardian, Shang-Chi, anything like that. But I don't think it's a bad card either. I don't know. Maybe a 3 that you don't play. Or has time even been able to tell? This might scale better in the future.
So if you're looking for the answer is that people were super scared about this card. On release, people were like, this was probably one of the more controversial ones. There were people that say this is going to ruin Marvel Snap's meta completely. There's other people saying this is mid, who cares? And it's kind of fallen to the mid side, to be honest with you. Okay. And partially, I think, because it doesn't have much of an offensive capability in the sense that, like, you can't combo it yourself with anything. It is a pure tech piece. And if your opponent isn't playing those cards, it's just 7 power. or potentially 9 alongside a Spectrum or whatever,
At
right?
4 cost.
So yeah, like it definitely does impact a wide range of cards, like way more cards than you might even think about, right? But as of right now, it has not been a meta defining card at any shape. Like it has not been something that people have been necessarily worried about. And even on Untap, the best performing decks for Stardust are like decks where they're going to be doing good anyways, and Stardust is just being splashed in, like the end of turn Invisible Woman stuff, where Stardust is in there for kind of no reason. You know what I mean? And the stats are kind of being carried from there. But it does have it has a negative cube rate across Untapped ranks 70 to 100 right now, since the OTA, to give you an idea, and it's only running a 4% meta share. It's not shaping up to be the meta dominator that was maybe feared.
Yeah, I just feel like it just depends too. Like it just depends like what the meta is, but I just feel like any tech, we kind of seen this, like any tech card that's at a 4 cost, that's a tough one to that's a tough one to get behind it being a good card, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the other thing is, and this is kind of something I kind of mentioned in my review, is that like it doesn't have the cube equity of like an Enchantress or Shang-Chi. And obviously, they're different types of tech cards. This is much more along the lines of like a Mobius and Mobius, right? It's a softer tech card. You don't just destroy someone's board with a Mobius and Mobius. But for that reason, though, you don't see Mobius and Mobius as often as you do a Shangers or an Enchantress.
Yeah,
right?
because it's not reactionary. It's like prepping. Yeah, I guess it would have to be like, I don't know how they would do this, but like, I don't know if it was this and then it said any card that was created that wasn't placed or moved, destroy that, or something like that. Like if it was like a reaction that you could surprise with at the end, then maybe it would get better. Like, you know, if someone plays all these dooms and they're thinking they're going to win, then you play this and it gets rid of all of them, maybe. But I don't think this one, it's just kind of, it keeps feeling like problems that we don't need solving because they're not a big enough issue per se.
I suspect that this card is because somewhere down the line they have like a 5-drop that's like 5/15, but every turn adds a Doombot on your opponent's side or something, right?
Probably.
So like something stupid,
Super
and this
premium
will
pass
turn
card.
that off, so you just have the stats and not the downside. That's what I suspect.
Super premium pass card. What is our next card?
Next card, if you want to stay in the snap packs, would be Frankie Ray Nova.
Frankie Ray Nova.
She's on fire.
She's on fire. She's on fire. 2/3. Okay, love 2 cost. 3. After the next time you play a 6 cost card, double this card's power. Ooh, this is kind of a fun card. Ooh, I like this card for sure. This is like, man, this would have been cool way back in Electro Ramp days, like way back. Because like, you know, at the very minimum, you're almost, not always, but you can often get, I'm sure, a 12 power card, no?
Yeah, you definitely can get this card to absolutely astronomical numbers. But one thing I want to make mention of,
I like it.
One thing that like I think a lot of people glossed over is the effect only happens once.
Oh.
It's the next time you play a 6-drop. So if you're thinking Electro, you can't just keep playing 6-drops, right?
So you have to, okay, so like if like you had Reed or something to boost up the power, then you played a 6-drop, so you could boost it up, then do that. Well, at minimum, it's a 2/6 that you always play 6-drops, right? Often. Like I don't see why this would not just be a good, like if you don't draw a 6-drop, sure, but if you're playing Doom or whatever, I think this is a good card. I like this card. I don't know how often it would be played because of like the competitiveness of the cards that are around right now in the 2-cost slots, but I do think it fits in so many decks that I'm a fan. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay, I actually like this card.
I like it.
On aggregate stats, it's not doing great. Its cube rate is more or less flat. Its win rate is 50%.
Okay.
Its popularity is only 6%. And this is in the weekend where people are getting tokens for playing it. So, like, it's not doing great statistically. However, here's a fun fact. I don't even know if you realize this. I actually made the official Marvel Snap video for Frankie Ray Nova.
Dude, they reached out. They talked to you?
Yeah, they reached out. They talked to me.
How did you pull that off?
I don't know. They touched base with me and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And they said, pick a card from the season. I actually was one of the first ones to get to choose. I'm like, I'll take Frankie Ray Nova. This card looks pretty cool.
I have a workplace sign behind me. It's like X amount of days since Snap has reached out, and it goes up a day. Every day I look at it, slap it on my way in the office. That's, dude, honestly though, I'm just glad they reached out to anybody. I couldn't be more happy for you, buddy. I gotta go watch it, man. I gotta go comment that you're hot or something. Well, that's cool, man. I'm super pumped for you for that.
It's funny you say that, dude, because so first of all, it was kind of stressful because I had to submit the video like weeks in advance for like approval. Like, you know how that process works, right?
Yeah.
And then, but I'm like, I got to make decks for the video. Like, I have to suggest decks, but like, I don't know what the meta is going to look like 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now. Like, I don't know. Like, I got to try and make something kind of cool. So I tried to really cook, and I was stressed about it. I was like, I got to cook something cool, man. I cooked a Nomura deck. And in my testing, I got her to like over 30 something power, like
wait,
36 power.
That's a hot call. I like that call.
Yes, buddy,
Yeah,
because I got Frankie Ray Nova. I had like, you can use Symbiote Spider-Man on top of Frankie Ray. And the power of Symbiote and Frankie Ray gets doubled. And then you Nomura. And then when you Odin the Nomura, what happens is Odin comes down, Nomura buffs Frankie Ray, and then Frankie Ray checks the condition of Odin. So you double dip on the Nomura effect.
I like
the
it.
only thing holding this card back right now is the fact that it just dies to Cannonball and Shangers and all that stuff.
Oh, dude,
and the
is
other
the
major
Cannonball
challenges.
BS still there? The Mercury Cannonball thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh
And
my
the big
gosh.
thing is right now it's running Fenris. So Fenris, Cannonball, and Mercury. So they'll destroy your Frankie Ray and bring it back. So like it's pretty savage. Actually, to be honest with you, not Frankie Ray, sorry. Fenris might be the most aged like fine wine card in the last year. It is aging particularly well. But yeah, I really like Frankie Ray Nova. I think it's a fun card. And you did touch on a very important thing. There was just so much competition at the 2 spot. Thankfully, not thankfully, depending on which side of the fence you're on, Mr. Fantastic being moved to a 3 does alleviate a little bit. And I should mention, Surge got nerfed. I don't know if you realize this. It got nerfed. Still same effect, but it's just a 2-1. That's probably fair, honestly. But still, at the 2 cost, it does give a little more space for Frankie, but she has her very niche role.
First of all, Fantastic going to 3 is ridiculous. I think that's crazy. I get why they had to do it, I guess, but also it's just like we are at the point now where it's so obvious. If a card feels like it's really, really good by itself, not with like another combo card, but by itself, it's going to get nerfed. Like, I think we can now just know that forever, no?
The thing that concerns me, and I brought this up in my OTA video, I'm glad we have a chance to talk about it, is that I think they should have communicated while it was still in the season pass, even like within the last few days of the season pass, like, hey, before this hits snap packs and before you spend 6K tokens on it or whatever for players who don't buy the season pass, like, just so you know, it's on the watch list, or we intend on nerfing, the season pass card come the next OTA, because it comes out, it has like a 50% meta share, it drops in the snap packs, and a card with 50% meta share, you feel obligated to own it. Like a free-to-play player or anybody who's not just gorging on the game, right? Let's be honest. With the amount of cards being released, like you run out of resources so fast. The card comes out, it's in the snap packs for a week or two, and then it's boom, nerfed. And while I get they have to keep the health of the meta in check, there's no way after weeks and weeks, an entire month of the season, they didn't have the internal data to say, hey, like we're gonna have to nerf this. Like that's not a decision. You're not sitting there one night. You're like, I think Mr. Fantastic needs to be a 3-drop. That just doesn't happen. Like you obviously know in advance that's going to happen, right? So I would maybe like to see improvement there, because we're at a point where in this game where you have to do right by the people that are still playing, because they're still playing and there's fewer of them. So
do you just
do
feel
your
like
best
though,
to
they
take
can
care of them.
keep doing this? I guess like let's say like they do another Kid Omega situation. I don't know, right? Is it just the same thing though? Like we have like the people upset and then they come like everyone just kind of moves on. Like, you know what I mean? Like how many times could they realistically how many times they can keep doing it? I guess they're going, it's like that's the unsettling part.
It's a good question. I'll tell you right now, I definitely see in my numbers a massive reduction in the player base. I see a massive reduction in viewership. I can't speak on official stats or anything, but I can tell you that from my perspective, it would look like Marvel Snap has seen a major exodus of players, in particular since the Kid Omega situation. I can see it in my numbers, and I'm sure others can as well. So how many times can they do this? I guess until we're the only ones left. But that's not sustainable, right? I can foresee them not doing the Kid Omega situation again. I think that was probably a step in a bridge too far, and I think they realized that. But everything's about like, it almost feels like that death by 1,000 cuts situation, where they're going to continue trying to figure out where they can make money. And that's absolutely fine. It is a business after all. But I'm concerned about the long-term health of the game when, stuff like this, like very avoidable small things, like good faith gestures of like, hey, it's the last week of the season, just before the enter snap packs, like this card's on the docket to get nerfed, or like a refund-based system which it's not quite the same as like Hearthstone's refund-based system where you get your dust back, because I think they did balance patches way less frequently. Marvel Snap's cadence for balance is so much more aggressive that, like, you know what I mean? Like it's harder to do that. I understand, but at the same time, I feel for the players that invested 6,000 tokens, where tokens are extremely hard to come by, and then all of a sudden the card gets like a very legitimate nerf. Like the Surge nerf is whatever, 2/2 to 2/1, whatever. But from 2 cost to 3 cost on a card that affects each end of turn, that is a very significant, a sizable nerf. I just wish it was done better.
Yeah, it hits you with that whole like Smite League of Legends where they would release like a crazy hero, people would buy it, and then they would nerf from the next thing.
Heroes of
like,
the Storm did
yeah,
that too.
yeah, like that, and it was like that would hit hard because it was the same thing. Like people bought it for what it was, right? But and then it's like it's tough because like you want cards to be medium good in Snap. Like if you love a card and it's a 10 out of 10, don't love it because it'll be gone, right? So you want your card to be like a 7 out of 10, and then you're cooking, right? Then it's like, okay, you're right in that perfect ground, I guess. But yeah, but so what's our next card?
Next card, okay, I think we got to talk about Redshift now.
Redshift, okay. There's
So
so many cards,
Redshift-
bro. By the way, what the hell? There's so many, man.
Bro, that's a conversation for another day. We got to talk about the
Yeah,
cards
okay.
being released and what's going on. But yeah, 2/3 Redshift on reveal. Discard the leftmost card in your hand to add a random card with the same cost to your hand.
Bro, wait.
There's one particular card, one old lady who loves
Bro,
this.
I made a lot of videos on this lady. I immediately leftmost. I was like, Thanos, wait, no, Agatha, boom. Is this an Agatha card?
Oh, buddy, you wouldn't even believe how good Agatha is with this card.
Bro, I'm sure, bro. The fact that you now, first of all, they changed Agatha to be like every other turn thing. But secondly, bro, this is just the sauce, brother. Like the fact that you can discard her, bring her back with Ghost Rider or whatever, but then you also get the random cost card to continue to fuel the deck. This is awesome.
What would okay, so we know Agatha's always been sus, and you want to like Agatha, but you know you can't. What do you think? I'm putting you on the spot. Like, what do you think if you had to guess for $1 million the win percentage of a top performing Agatha? Don't you cheat? I see you. Don't you cheat? What do you think?
No,
what do you think it is? Agatha deck with Redshift.
I don't even know how to cheat. A win percentage of a regular Agatha deck right now, dude.
No, with Redshift. Redshift.
Yeah,
Agatha.
with Redshift.
What do you think it's running right now?
Okay, so like, because I'm expecting higher than normal, because you're like, it's good.
That would be correct.
I'm gonna go 55%.
58.4% right now.
Agatha deck is so
For an Agatha
wild.
deck.
What
And
the
at
fuck?
one point last week, it broke 60%.
Dude, as a meme card deck.
It's not a meme anymore, man. Black Knight Agatha, think about it. You Black Knight turn 1, Redshift, drops Agatha, you have a massive Ebony Blade in your hand, and dude, Agatha's gone, you Ghost Rider it. Like, the power output's insane.
And it's a 2/3 is so... What, dude? Agatha at 58% is something I don't think I ever thought I would see in the game.
I know. And actually, I've been thoroughly enjoying playing
I'm sure
Agatha.
it's fun.
The only heartbreaking thing is that, like, she steals the boosters still. And I've mentioned this in the past where I'm pretty sure you might remember this. This was an alpha when they mentioned the reason why, maybe you remember, and I'm just kind of hazy with it. The development team said internally they had to incorporate Agatha stealing boosters because they figured out an exploit early on in Marvel Snap's alpha where you could farm boosters with her, like on ladder. Remember when the ladder used to just, not the ladder, but the season.
Well, you could just macro. You could just macro it. Yeah. You just start a game. Even if you win or lose, you just let Agatha play it out or whatever. But but they can get rid of that now because you have to play her, or like you have to play for her other turns. So they can just get rid of that now.
Yeah, and the season pass, like the crates only go up to 100 or something now, right? They used to be unlimited.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they should definitely change that. That is a bummer that she currently takes that. Is he used? So outside of Agatha, no, he's not. Because my thought was like, can't you, like, now that we're getting so many of these discard cards, can't we just like, is there like is like Proxima and Wolverine and all those like discard kind of like play things working out, or no? Is that still?
So I've actually looked into that. Honestly, there's almost no games on it. Like, there's no stats or decks on those right now because I think people are so obsessed with the Agatha variation of it right now.
Yeah.
But intuitively, it's tricky. While there are going to be circumstances where discarding from the left side of your hand is going to be beneficial, cards that are discarded land on the right. So he kind of finds himself at odds, right? With like what your general game plan is.
So what happened after Agatha? Wait, who's next?
Okay, so the next card, I guess Terrax would be the next one to talk about. And let
me read this guy.
I don't want to say. Okay, I'm not going to say anything. I have an opinion on Terrax.
3/4 Terrax the Tamer. On reveal, for each location, shuffle a rock into the losing player's deck. So this, before I say anything, this looks at location 1 if you're winning or losing, and then that person gets a rock. Location 2, winning or losing. So it's all individually. Oh, and he's a 3/4. Wait, why is this not just cracked? Wait, I like this card a lot. If you play this, especially like, again, Iron Patriot, whatever, you play this with priority winning cards, okay? Why would you not just play those cards into Darkhawk? Why, like, that just seems like a busted ass deck.
So I like what you're saying, and I actually love this card. And it's funny because Dexter and I were talking about how we both loved this card, and seemingly everyone else hated it. And it's interesting because the Darkhawk decks that I was playing were performing really well. And yet, he actually was a 3/3. He statistically wasn't performing well internally. They buffed him to a 3/4 in the most recent OTA.
Him? Oh,
they buffed
3/3
him to
a little bit less enticing, but 3/4 it helps you win that priority, and he's good value, and you clog.
There's a very important thing though with Terrax that isn't inherently obvious until you play it. First of all, apparently they didn't have enough time to put an animation in, which is kind of hilarious and maybe indicative of the amount of cards they've been releasing lately. That's a whole other conversation. It's like the 4th time we've referenced that. But with Terrax specifically, if you have initiative going into the turn, his power is applied to the location while your opponent's card is face down. So you automatically, provided you can get the 3 or 4 power. Yeah, so if you have priority, his power gets applied, and then the condition is checked. So he often just wins his location naturally.
This seems good. Like,
I like it. Yeah, I like this card a lot. It's not seeing much play. Its win rate's flat 50. I just like it.
Do you remember when Iron Patriot came out and we were like, man, I hope they do more winning locations ones because it's such a fun, engaging mechanic. Look at how many we have now. I mean, like,
Galactus.
Yeah, seriously, and because it is a game within a game. It's a more engaging mechanic, and it's a way to really utilize 3 locations. He's cool, man. 3/4, I like him a lot better too. I think this guy's gonna age plenty fine.
Yeah, I like him. I think that like Darkhawk shells as a whole might be a little shoddy. This was a nice little infusion of something for them. Is it good enough? I'm not sure, but I mean, time will tell. But I actually do like the card. I would prefer if it had an animation. That'd be great.
Is that all the new cards outside of the one coming out?
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I guess missing is the Fallen one, which is going to be coming out this week.
Tomorrow. Yeah. So we have the Fallen one. Let's pull this up. We'll look at it together. The Fallen one, 5/5. On reveal, set your max energy equal to this card's power. Oh. Yo. What? Okay, so 5/5. Dude, is this why Reed got nerfed? Like, I get, right? Like, I don't know. I guess you could still utilize him a little bit there, but yeah, I don't know. As a 5, and you have to build it up and make sure it works. I mean, those card increasing, the power increasing cards are just exponentially getting better. I think this is a cool card.
It's definitely a cool card. Also, sorry. Like the tone of the last whole 30 minutes has been like, I also don't know how this card's going to perform now. Just so you know, right? Like, this card's not out yet.
This guy? Yeah, for sure. No, that's fair.
No, you asked me like we were talking about the other cards. Still.
I would say, very true. I would say this hits in the, remember we always talk about, you have like one side, you have the scale from right to left. You have fun card, you have meta card, and then there's scales in the middle, and if it leans too much one side, and you know it's going to be that, and then sometimes they're like, well, Infinity Ultron, let's make them now from fun to good, and they look at all these things. I think he is more on the side of fun, but still can be good in the right situations.
So what star rating would you give this card initially?
Geez, dude.
I'm putting you on the spot this week.
Dude, yeah. Hell if I know, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think he's going to be a 2-star week 1.
Okay.
And then I think that someone's going to figure out a pretty
Yeah.
decent deck for him where you're almost going to be enticed to get Fallen One, but I don't think he's ultimately going to be worth it. And I don't care if you can get to like, oh, you have turn 6 with like 12 energy. I don't think it matters. I don't. I'm a little concerned at the viability of this card, especially with how tempo-oriented Marvel Snap has become. I don't think you could punt on like turn 4 to play Shuri, turn 5 Fallen One for the 10 power. Like it's just, I don't think you can. I don't know. And there's another card I want to talk about too, which I think eats its lunch.
I think the main thing with this is ever since me and you, we were live together having old fashions. Ever since we got duped by Scarlet Spider way back when, I feel like ever since then, I've always like scaled my expectations for anything that needs power, like outside of like, you know, to do things, right? Especially the higher cost you go. I would say like, I think that this card can automatically do something fun with Agony. You know, you can do because right when you just play that into it and then you could get that power, I guess.
Yep.
Does Agony shift though with it before it does the power on the on reveal?
Oh, that's a good question. Agony's on the field of play. I'm not actually sure how that interaction will occur.
So
I'm not sure.
So you got that. You can maybe do Gwenpool, whatever. Yeah, dude. I think like if you had like, you know, this side. How do I do this? This side is meta. This side is fun. I think it's like here. I think it's more fun, but I think in the right ways it can win. But it's not going to be like. I think I have it like a 3 though. Maybe a 2.
Okay.
I don't know, bro. It's a 5's pretty tough. Maybe a 2.5.
I think that someone somewhere is going to figure out a cool deck, right? It's going to happen. I think there's going to be a cook available where it's going to seem good. The only thing is, I think some of like the more synergistic cards, like people talk about Shuri with this card, but like if you Shuri Red Skull, Taskmaster, that's not even played, and that's probably just a better line. You know what I mean? Like, and the other thing is that we do have a lot of buff decks that are performing particularly well. Like you do have cards like Okoye, Surge, obviously Mr. Fanta. You have Galactic Gwenpool. They're all seeing play. Like you talked about Symbiote, we talked about Symbiote Spider-Man prior. You talked about Scarlet, but Scarlet Spider is legitimately seeing a little bit of play here and there. Like it's not completely out on its own anymore. Fastos is being unironically played. And so like there's lots of options for this to be naturally played. And the only challenge is when you look at those high performing decks, the carry cards or where the power comes from is usually like Mr. Sinister. It's usually the Broods and those types of things. And you don't really need the Fallen One. You don't need the insane energy on turn 6. Like it just doesn't feel as necessary.
Is Herbie garbage?
No, Herbie's legit. It's not as good as Fanta was, but it's legit.
Because I don't hate Herbie with this, right? Because you have a couple things that could work with it. Like you could maybe scale it out. You could also add the power. Doesn't Herbie add power with one of his things, right? So like, I guess
yes,
Herbie's
but
kind of interesting.
post card drop, right?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't add power to the hand.
Yeah. Right. So no matter what, it's the on reveal part that's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think this guy might need 5.5 is super conservative too. That means that they tested this out at 5.6, 5.7, and it was probably a little bit too consistent, clearly, because anything you do to it is gonna. This is though being said, like every power point they add to it, it like supercharges the card.
Yeah, we've had a couple cards like that, right? Where like the extra power is notable. Like actually Terrax is a good example of that. It helps trade the location more effectively. Gladiator was a great example of that too, where like it's just double dipping on what that power does, right? But the other thing that's worth noting is like, is it even worth waving him out? Not really. You can't wong it because it sets the power. It doesn't just add power, right? It sets the power, so the doubling doesn't matter. But the major problem for me is that like, why not play Sarah? Like, if you think about it, yes, Sarah's susceptible to Triple M, and whereas this card is not necessarily. The only thing it might be susceptible to is something like a Red Hulk or whatever for extra energy. But with Sarah, if you think about Sarah's effect, it essentially extends, like, you're kind of getting free energy. Like, you don't see it that way, but, like, you're reducing the cost of every card by 1. That's basically 1 bonus energy per card you play.
Yeah,
right?
So, like, for a Surfer deck, you're literally getting playing 3 cards, so you're getting a
it's
whole
like you have
1
9
free.
energy.
Yeah, you're getting a 3/1 free. Yeah, it's just like a gimmick for ramps that I don't think we need, or like extra, like, and like there are going to be ways and cards that can come out, as we always say, that could be kind of cool with how this works. But there's not a. Is there? Why am I blanking? Is there a card that from the when on play it can copy a card in your hand?
Yes, Astral Projection.
Yeah, that was what it was. I guess maybe that. maybe, but even that's a 3, right? That's a 3 cost?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
hate it.
you may as well just Electro or whatever, right?
And yeah, that's not great. Well, so that hits tomorrow, and so Alex will be testing that over on his stream. What a time for me to come back and get this card. What a way to go. So, buddy, we've got the Snapchat mailbag, and for those that don't know if it gets out, so we're going to be doing for just a little bit here. For the time being, Alex and I, to make sure that we always have like really good topics, we're going to do an episode over on my channel and then an episode over on his channel, not at the same time. So each week, if it's not on my channel, that means it's on his and vice versa. And that way we can go extremely long. You don't have 2 intros. It makes a lot more sense for a podcast, and every topic makes sense, and it makes sense for both of us. So that's what we'll be going with. But with that being said, buddy, Snapchat mailbag. We got some good ones. Besides, I don't know, hit me with like a FU Cozy, why have you been gone so long? What do you got out there?
All right, we got one from Austin, and it reads, Alex, thanks so much for keeping the Snapchat alive while Cozy is doing Marvel Rivals major content. All the love and support to you both. The guests help keep everything a little fresh while Cozy's gone. But I'd be lying if I said I can't wait until good old Cozy's back. So glad you both are doing well and you are successful.
Well, thank you, my guy. Yes, and I think I said thanks to the guests, but of course, Alex keeping the torch lit. It goes without being said. The love I have for this man. Yeah, I think we had Regis on for that one episode, and I think guests are really cool. Contrary to belief, they're pretty hard to line up. Like, I remember we were going to be doing this like years ago, and then like I think we were even trying, and then it was like trying to get another person's schedule with our crazy schedule. We're like, that's nutso, and just didn't work out. But when one of us is out, I think it's amazing, and we certainly want to try to have more guests on here for the future. But big shout out to you guys, and again, just this is like almost like therapeutic to me, man. I just love talking Snap, talking You know this more than anything. When you play a game, but it's your work also, that game can lose some of its joy. But now, because Rivals is more of my work, this is more of my joy, right? So it's like an interesting give and take that you have. But yeah, man, just fun. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. And we have the 2 next ones will be actually Marvel Snap related. JS says they need to start dropping stuff to Series 3. Like maybe stuff that's been out for a year drops to Series 3. Collecting cards just isn't fun.
Yeah, I think, how do I say this? We haven't gotten a lot of new content in the game because they keep going back and trying to figure out how to make this game more accessible from the hand that created it themselves. And so like, I'm so tired of that, right? Of them like, okay, we found a new way to, do the card system, but it took 6 months of dev work, right? Whatever. I agree. I think there's some really easy solutions to this. What I don't want to see is when games are like, quote unquote, heading to the end of their life cycle, or just you can see negative reviews coming and things like that. That's when they're like, oh, we better do it now. I hope that's decisions made quicker because they quite literally have such an easy palated answer on how to get things on the right track, and let's just make it more accessible,
Yeah, there's no question about it. I think that one the main argument against Marvel Snap right now, and the exhaustion a lot of players feel, is around like, can I actually even continue playing this game without spending a legitimate fortune, right? And so it is a challenge that I hope they try to rectify and figure out the answer to. And Jeremy comes in with a similar question, and it reads, one thing that you guys in the greater community never seem to mention is that the game is so hard to come back to, but it's basically impossible as a new player. I started during the Esme season, and as much as I love the game, I keep thinking I need to drop it.
I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, I think that like the new player experience is one of Snap's strongest things actually at the start. When you're playing and you're unlocking cards at a steady cadence and you're getting fed these bots and you're climbing through rank 30 or whatever, I actually think that experience is probably pretty cool. However, it becomes challenging once you're thrown into the general player pool. And I'm not entirely sure how the matchmaking works because I haven't had the experience of starting a new account since I started my new account. But the problem is that like I'll play against players who are like 6,000 collection level and I'm into the 40,000s. And it's clearly not fair. And I almost feel bad hitting them with like the new sauce and they're like trying to make a Punisher ongoing deck work. It feels awful. And on occasion, I'll like, if I'm streaming, I'll like just give him the cubes type thing. Like I'll be winning in the last turn, but I'll retreat anyways or something like that just to give it to him. But like, I think it is very hard as a new player, especially when you're thrown into the general play pool. And the catch-up mechanics pretty much don't exist. And I think that one of the major challenges too is that if the kind of publication and hype cycle of the game is new cards being released, but you don't have a means to actually reliably acquire those cards, it's just going to cause fatigue for the new players. So yeah, I agree. It's a major issue.
Yeah, I feel like too, as player bases dwindle, that's where that problem rises even more, right? Because there's less humans to get matched up. So then it's going to prioritize human v human matchups. But that only works if you guys, when you have 40K collection, they have 6K, even though they somehow got to, infinite or wherever they're at, right? It becomes just not fair for that person with the same access to the cards that you have. I think the easiest thing for them to do is just like the old pool and series concept is like just scratch that. The 1 and 2 I get it because they want to ease the player into the game. Like that was why those were made. Everything past that, they should just be unlocked the same way how they, how you get them in the caches, like pool 3 cards, but it catches you all the way up to like 6 months out. Like that's just the most like logical way to make this whole thing make sense. And then you get cards by playing the game. You're getting players to play the game. There's the way you catch up as a new player is that, and then there's some other ways maybe to boost that even more. But then it feels good to play. I think that's, I don't know, an answer potentially.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities that they have to improve the card acquisition. It's a tale as old as time. It's just a matter of whether or not they're actually going to do it. JC Mellon with the last question of the day. It's not even a question, Cozy. It's a statement. JC Mellon says, "For what it's worth, Stardust is not wearing pants."
Is not wearing pants. That's what I said.
It's not wearing pants. We've come full circle.
So that Triton is we've got full. So the Triton's covering up a lot. Is what you're trying to say?
Yes. The Trident is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Oh, on some Reddit post somewhere, that Trident is gone. Well, bud, all I have to say is just good to talk to you again. So much to like word vomit out that I feel like there's so many more conversations to be had, and looking forward to having those conversations. And guys, I always love the second half of the year, right? We got football coming up. We got the holiday season and just more. Who even knows what kind of cards? Did you see the new movie, by the way? Fantastic Four?
I have not seen it yet. No, I want to. And I'm actually looking forward to Thunderbolts is almost to the point where it's going to be in Disney Plus.
It was on the plane. It's like one of those things. I feel like planes get movies early, but I think it's close to being on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing Thunderbolts because I heard it was amazing, and I actually have heard good things about Fantastic Four as well.
It's good.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
The cast is great.
Trying to spend as much time with the kids as I can.
It looks like it, man. You're tanner than me, which I think speaks to China, but also speaks to how much you've been outside, bro.
Yeah, my daughter has soccer tournaments like literally every single week. I stand outside. I told you, I just stare at the sun all day. I just battle the sun, refuse to wear sunscreen.
Number one thing I get when people meet me after we talk about the Snapchat a little bit is they go, "How does Alex do it?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "He's got like 7 kids." And it always goes up. The number always goes up. I'm like, he has 15 kids. Like, how does he do it? I'm like, I don't know. And my answer is, I don't know. He's just my Superman. But it's Marvel. So my Gladiator.
Buddy, it all starts with this. Listen. If you want to know how to do it, this is how it works, okay? I'm just joking. We're talking about 2 different things, I think. It all starts with the who's the guy who does the sax? The
sexy sax guy?
Yeah, no, I can't remember the name. Oh my gosh.
Wham?
No, it's not Wham. Is it Robert Michaels?
Oh, from Wham, George Michael.
George Michaels. That's it. It's George Michaels. Yeah. If you want to know how the magic's made, you just turn on some George Michaels and it does the rest.
Man, people I'm sure have missed that beauty. Were you talking about how you laid pipe with Dexter and other guests? All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week as always. The 2 amigos over here. We love you guys. We'll see you guys till the next one, guys. Happy snapping.